Jesus then takes them to the Mount of Olives, and he tells them to pray that they will not fall into temptation. He goes and prays by himself, saying, "Father, if you are willing, take this cup from me. Yet not my will, but yours be done." Luke says that an angel appeared to him and gave him strength. Luke also says that after continuing to pray with so much anguish, his sweat became like drops of blood falling to the ground. When Jesus is done, he goes back and finds the disciples asleep. He tells them again to get up and pray so they won't fall into temptation. But as Jesus is speaking, Judas shows up with a mob behind him. Luke presents a slightly different picture here than Matthew and Mark. Jesus sees Judas coming and stops him by asking, "Judas, are you betraying the Son of Man with a kiss?" In this version, the kiss is apparently not delivered at all. Having been identified, the officers arrested Jesus, although one of Jesus' disciples thought to try and stop them with a sword, but he cut off the ear of one of the arresting officers. The Gospel of John specifies that it had been Simon Peter who cut off the ear of Malchus, a servant of Caiaphas, the high priest. Luke adds that Jesus healed the wound. John, Matthew, and Luke state that Jesus criticized the violent act, insisting that the disciples don't resist Jesus' arrest. In Matthew's version, Jesus makes the well-known statement, "All who live by the sword shall die by the sword." Jesus is then arrested and taken to the house of the high priest. Peter follows at a distance and sits by a fire in the courtyard. A servant girl sees his face in the firelight and accuses him of being one of Jesus' disciples, but he denies it. This happens 2 more times, and the rooster crows, and Jesus turns and looks at Peter, and Peter runs away weeping. The guards then mock Jesus, and at sunrise, the Sanhedrin finally convenes, and they ask him if he is the Messiah. He says, "You said it," and they take him away to Pilate, where they accuse him of subversion, not paying tribute to Caesar, and claiming to be the Messiah.